VVS Laxman is the hero for India.
He's just a quality player. He's a great batsman in Test cricket, there's no doubt about it.
Laxman has been absolutely brilliant.
VVS Laxman has been an outstanding talent in Indian cricket. Outstanding ability.
He is like a very talented colonel, born at the wrong time and therefore never made general.
That's VVS Laxman at his best.
He came across somebody very humbly, very down to earth. Work ethics was spot on. Even if he got 100 or he got out for a duck, the smile on his face never changed.
Time and again, VVS Laxman has played knocks that went down in Indian cricketing history as some of the greatest ever. His magical 281 in Kolkata will always be remembered with awe, told and retold by generations of cricket lovers. The very recent match-winning 73 against Australia and Mohali highlights the steely resolve and an incredible ability to perform under extreme pain and enormous pressure.
VVS Laxman is the hero for India.
His majestic knocks, full of craft and silken touch, played with a heart of steel. At his sublime best, Laxman can any day be considered cricket's God incarnate.
That's VVS Laxman at his best.
And God plays a big part in defining who Laxman is.
Every day he reads the 12th Adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita. That 12th Adhyaya clearly emphasized in his mind, in my mind, that you have to be what is called Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means in victory and defeat, in health and sickness, in opulence and poverty, in praise and criticism. You have to be absolutely unruffled and equanimous. Such people Lord Krishna likes. I think that shloka is a practical aspect of Laxman's life.
And that has made Vangipurappu Venkatasai Laxman the revered saviour of India's cricketing pride and the worst nightmare of India's opponents.
VVS Laxman is the hero for India.
His is the Laxman effect on a stunned opposition. Hyderabad. The city has a tradition of producing classy cricketers. On the 1st of November 1974, another wristy, wily artist was born to the doctor couple of Shantaram and Satyabhama. Laxman picked up the bat at a very young age.
When he was infant, I saw him playing with plastic bat. Afterwards, slowly he started having different bats at different ages they will be having. So he was quite good at both bowling and batting. Then my brother saw talent in him and wanted him to pursue.
He loved the game even as a baby. Even when he was crawling, he used to love the game. He used to come and watch us play, and with my other nephews, when I was playing or with my friends, he used to come and watch us play and used to keep smiling. I still remember him as a toddler.
Laxman went on to study at the Little Flower High School, where he excelled as a student. His interest in cricket grew when he used to visit his maternal uncle's house in Secunderabad, where there was a coaching academy opposite the house. Soon, he was playing for the school team.
As far as I recollect, I think it was 1989 and 90 when my brother-in-law, Baba Krishnamohan's marriage was performed at Tirupati. Laxman was representing his school, Little Flower School, for under 13 Nutrient Trophy match, and he didn't come for the marriage, to the uncle's marriage. As a child, we left him off at Hyderabad. Then when we returned from Tirupati, next day morning we saw in the newspaper with red letters, a young lad hits 150, unbelievable. Then we thought in a competitive cricket, this Laxman had performed century and a half. Then people were doubting whether he is really under 13. Was there any underestimate of his age in the certification?
It was Uncle Baba Krishna Mohan, whose marriage Laxman missed because of the school match, who took him under his wings and made him join the St. John's Cricket Coaching Academy.
And I took him to the first time to the coaching camp next door to my house. They started the coaching, and the coaches, they said, okay, let's watch him play. And then I went back after 1.5 hours to bring him back. The first thing they said was he's very talented. So it is, even before he went to the coaching camp, he had that natural talent and very natural gifted cricketer.
He used to come very early, before the coaches used to come, even before the sunrise. He used to be there. It used to be so dark. And he was so committed to cricket that he loved to come on time. Laxman, we started seeing him when the age of 13, 14, when he started to pick up cricket, and his basics became better and better. It took at least 1.5 years for us to see the talent in him. And later on, you can see the results, what he is now. Both together, even when we used to ask him, Laxman, it's the last round, he used to say, sir, another 5 minutes. So he used to be there and see that he should not give his wicket easily to anybody.
When we start when I went to the camp, St. John's Coaching Foundation, there I met Laxman. He was quite young, he was about 14, 15. He was just getting into basics. Then in 3 years from then onwards, I could see that Laxman is something he is really focused in. He wants to excel. He means business. He just wanted to just come and enjoy his game, but he wants to do something which is he wants to excel as a cricketer. And we used to share our thoughts and our practice sessions. And those times he used to tell me he wanted to reach top.
Laxman soon made it to the age group teams of Hyderabad. But after passing his 10th exams, he had to make a decision to pursue a career in cricket or become a doctor like his parents. He finally decided to enroll himself in the biology stream at +2 level. But he was destined for bigger things. His selection to the Indian under-19 team tilted the scales in favour of Laxman the cricketer.
He, being Laxman, was very strong in science, stood first at the state level with 98 out of 100. He had a seat on sports quota in medicine. But still he insisted, when so many are there in our family who are serving Mother India with stethoscope, why not I do with bat? I think at that young age, such a powerful decision of his impressed us, and we really admired him and saluted to his decision.
As cricket took centre stage in his life, Laxman did not pursue studies further. The Ranji Trophy debut came at 18. He was scoring heavily in the domestic circuit, but Team India had an abundance of talent in the middle order. So Laxman had to wait. After playing 4 Ranji seasons, Laxman finally made it to the Indian Test squad, playing alongside fellow Hyderabadi Mohammad Azharuddin. An introvert and a quiet lad, Laxman never really had any favourite cricketers, but Azhar's influence was fairly evident.
Laxman used to idolize Azhar a lot. He used to love Azhar's wrist work and other things. What I feel Laxman is gifted is with his hand and eye coordination. You can see from his batting. Same thing goes with Azhar as well. So I feel that we Hyderabadis are very wristy. So I feel that Laxman used to idolize Azhar a lot.
It is here at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad that Laxman made his Test debut. And it was here that in his first Test appearance that India and the entire cricket world got a taste of the yet-to-be famous Laxman match-winning effect. Laxman was the only Indian batsman to score a 50 in the match and helped Team India to a 64-run victory against a formidable South African team. This was the place where was born the Laxman effect.
Magnificent shot. In fact, with his ball fetches.
Despite scoring a 50 in his debut, Laxman couldn't cement his place in the star-studded Indian batting lineup. Instead, he was pushed to open the innings. Laxman was not comfortable batting right at the top of the order, and his performance lacked consistency.
Initial years of his career, he never got a fixed position to go out there and bat. The opportunities he got, he was asked, would you like to go out there and open? For any youngster player looking to play for India, he'd say, well, I'll grab any position that you give me.
Till he became a near permanent fixture in the Indian Test team, he must have obviously just been a little 50-50 on confidence levels. He must have also wondered, should I change my game or not to suit the one-day game or to suit the limited overs game, now even T20. But I think he was smart enough by then to realize that that is not his forte, and in trying to do both, he might lose both forms or both skills.
Playing a test match at the Eden Gardens is a dream come true for every Indian cricketer. Here Laxman showed what he would be doing to the mighty Australians in the years to come.
There it is. That's VVS Laxman at his best. The promotion. It's another 4.
The men from Down Under witnessed a trailer of their soon-to-be tormentor during the second test.
And another boundary.
With 161 ball 95, VVS began his love affair with Eden Gardens and his hate story with the Australian bowlers.
And this is different. The promotion. It's another 4. It's happening in 4s for India.
Shocker. And it's gone.
He's a great batsman in Test cricket, there's no doubt about it. He scores runs against everyone, but probably does a bit more against Australia. It's just the confidence you have against certain teams when you turn up and do well every time. So when you play the next team again, you just feel, and I'll do it again.
Well, he's had a go at that one and driven a lovely shot through the offside straight after that.
When the Indian team toured Australia, Laxman pulverised a lethal Aussie attack at Sydney. He scored a majestic 167 against Bretley, McGrath and company.
Well,
the only bright spot in an otherwise disastrous Indian team.
And it's running away down into the fence for 4. That's his half century.
160 that he got, and I think it was a 99 tour to Australia in the last Test match. I think from there, VVS Laxman's career completely changed, and his love for the Australian side started as well, and he never looked back. So I think that 160 is the one that changed his career.
Despite the brilliant knock, Laxman was keen on returning to domestic cricket rather than continue playing as an opener. He was out of the Test team for nearly a year before he was recalled in late 2000. He also found a spot in the side for the home series against Australia in 2001.
Toss to score 250. He will. 250. VVS Laxman.
This is where Laxman, the Aussie tormentor, reached a new high. He danced down the track, drove, flicked, and along with an equally resolute fighter in Rahul Dravid, rewrote history.
Shaking hands. The tail has hung around along with him and helped India either achieve a win or a draw. And I think VVS Laxman has been an outstanding talent in Indian cricket. Outstanding ability. In any given situation, in any given circumstances. I rate him very, very highly. I rate his cricketing IQ exceptionally highly.
There's the 100.
It was vintage VVS Laxman, and the world watched in disbelief as the magician from Hyderabad wielded his stick to script one of the greatest knocks ever.
Now he's the highest scorer against Australia, and what a magnificent shot to bring it up.
Culminating in an incredible Indian victory after being made to follow on.
The whole of Bengal are on their feet.
There will be dancing.
Bangipurappu Venkatasai Laxman was rechristened Very, very special Laxman.
Just about every adjective and just about every cliche has been used for VVS Laxman, particularly the very, very special. But perhaps just trying to put it differently, maybe he's like a very talented colonel who was born at the wrong time and therefore never made general. Because, I mean, his abilities are very special, and we all know the Hyderabad school, you know, very risky, sometimes taking it well outside off and still playing to leg, and so on and so forth. He's always had a lot of time.
Yeah! And got it!
But Laxman's performance in the one-dayers was coming under scrutiny.
Back onto the stumps. And the Ruskin ball playing against the...
He might have been a great slip fielder, but selectors citing lack of all-round fielding ability and slow running between the wickets dropped Laxman from the 2003 World Cup team.
Initial period, they could have given him the opportunity because obviously he was a lot fitter when he came into the international arena as well. But you're absolutely right. I personally feel that he should have been given more opportunities in the limited over format, but that was dependent on where he would go out there and bat, because obviously the opening slot, you had Saurav Ganguly and Tendulkar opening, and then you had Dravid batting at 3. And Laxman's kind of game, you had to bat him in either of the top 3 positions.
But Laxman did not let this hamper his test performance. He always reserved his best against the best. During the Australian tour in 2003, Laxman played a key role to help India conquer Adelaide. He scored a masterful 148 and put up a 300-run partnership, again with Rahul Dravid, to seal the first Indian test win in Australia in 2 decades. Sydney followed Adelaide, and the scoreboard showed another grand knock of 178 by Laxman as India piled up a mammoth 705. Soon after coming back from Australia, Laxman got into another long partnership. He tied the knot with Shailaja. The couple are now doting parents to a son and a daughter.
To be frank, I was not at all a cricket follower, neither before the marriage or not now. But with kids, I don't think it will be possible. And he is happy in that way that I don't follow cricket.
After conquering Australia, it was time to cast a spell on the South Africans. India's crisis manager delivered yet again. Laxman struck a resolute 73 in the second innings, which helped India's historic first test win in South Africa. The Sri Lankans have an enviable record at home. India needed to win this third and final test to level the series. Laxman was fighting severe back spasms, but once again he rose to the occasion, scoring a defiant 103 not out. His 16th test century, and India beat Sri Lanka by 5 wickets. At Mohali, India were fighting with their backs to the wall. With severe back spasm and wickets falling at regular intervals, it was up to Laxman to herd the tail to come up trumps against the Aussies. His 73 of 79 balls was full of classy strokes.
Lovely shot. That is a terrific shot from Laxman.
Along with Dravid, Ganguly and Tendulkar, Laxman has definitely been one of India's pillars over the past decade. The Fab Four has been one of the most important reasons for India's recent successes. But Laxman could never match the other 3 in terms of brand value.
Never a person who judges how good a player is by the number of endorsements, because performance always doesn't materialize into endorsements. There are a lot of other things which go. It's how you marketed by people who look after you, and all these things which are completely non-related to the sport.
Perhaps if you are a soldier, somebody who really does all the hard work but is not flashy, does not sort of stand in front and wave his arms, then maybe the marketing men lay off a bit. Now his personality, as we all know, is more shy and introverted than all out there like a few other cricketers. But I'm sure he would realize that. And did he want to change that? And were he desperate for more commercial endorsement? Then he might have changed his personality as well. But I think he is sensible enough to realize that the game comes first.
Well, that's 4.
He's the youngest among India's golden generation of middle-order batsmen. But batting late in the order, playing as an opener early in his career, has sadly almost ensured that he will leave cricket without any monumental records.
VVS Laxman has been absolutely brilliant.
But they will talk about the magical way in which he got his runs. the way he crafted his innings, artistic and highly imaginative. The remarkable way he herded the Indian tail and stole victory for India from the jaws of defeat.
There's the man of the moment, VVS Laxman. VVS Laxman is the hero for India.
Many will come to surpass his records. But 50 years from now, when bowling coaches speak to their wards down under, they will say, "Practice hard, son, or you never know, another Laxman will come." And that, in cricket, is the worth of the Laxman effect.